Joining me now are two students with the SCPS Student Advisory Council, George Flynn and Talia Schmidt. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we love to have students on the show. But first, let's talk a little bit about what the Student Advisory Council is.
So it's a group of students. There's 4 students from every school in the county, and we meet once a month throughout the school year to discuss different issues and different topics facing students in the county school system.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really great way for students to get involved, and not only for students to get involved, but also for kind of the adults and the public figures in Fairfax County to have student input.
Yeah.
So it kind of works both ways, and we really are happy that we're able to be part of that.
That's excellent. Yeah. And every year you have a project. The Student Advisory Council has a project, and you're here to tell us about your project that you did this year.
Yes. So at the beginning of the year, our first meeting in October, Dr. Dale came and spoke to the entire council and just spoke to us about his goals for the year. And usually I guess he gives them a charge of something more specific, but this year there were no specific charges, so he just told us to kind of explore issues or topics that we thought were pressing or interesting within Fairfax County schools, and things that are currently happening that we'd like to change or expand, or things we'd like to introduce, and kind of just gave us free reign.
And
so some of the things, were 21st learning style, so that was a big feature. And underneath that big branch, we had technology, we had global studies, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But there was a few different things that we want to kind of learn and expand upon in the future.
And this all culminated in a presentation to adults, because I was in the audience. I was very impressed, and school board members as well. And George, what was your role in all that?
So my role, the entire council worked on different topics throughout the year, like I said, but then in about March and April, a committee of 6 or 7 council members formed a committee to work on the presentation. So I was on that committee, and we worked and kind of took the topics that we'd been discussing throughout the year and turned them into more specific proposals to present to county leadership. And then we presented that. So I was on the team that presented it, as was Talia, and we got to really discuss and go more in depth on the topics and what was really important to us.
And what were important to you?
So like Talia said, we placed a big emphasis on 21st century learning. So what we really wanted to discuss was, what does 21st century learning mean to us? Because that's kind of very broad. So we looked at globalization and things like global classrooms and partner schools around the world, and kind of a global education course almost, which is one of our proposals. We looked at technology and expanding the county's current bring your own device, or BYOD policy, which is very influential to all of us and very important to all of us. Those were a few of the things, Talia.
Yeah, so more specifically, I was really interested in the global education, and within that, especially the environmental education. And there was a few things that kind of influenced me. So I was fortunate enough to take a trip with Fairfax County. I actually heard about it through SAC, and it was an EF educational tour trip to Costa Rica, where for a week, I was able to explore the beaches of Tortuguero and take some hikes and explore San Jose, and we were actually able to firsthand see some of these different things that we'd only read about in textbooks. So we were able to see a turtle lay eggs on the beach at night. And then the weekend after was the actual environmental summit, where for that weekend, we got to meet some amazing people like Vice President Al Gore and Severin Suzuki, and we got to hear these inspirational speakers, but we also got to interact with our peers. So we got to build this project called Innovation Village, and mine specifically was called Urban Future, and we worked on urban designs and different things we had learned throughout the week from Earth University and other places to build this project. So we started thinking, hey, I learned so much from going out and doing something, and I want other people to have this same experience. So environmental education is essential for Fairfax County to reach that 21st learning style goal. And so in order to do that, George and I and a few other members have come up with basically 3 basic principles in order to move forward. So the first one is to have appropriate resources. What that means is we need to have appropriate recycling bins, because we can't teach kids how to recycle and then not have recycling bins.
Right.
We have to have appropriate classes. The second thing is an initiative that we started called GOSTLY, which is Global Student Leadership Initiative. And basically what Global Studies Leadership Initiative does is it works for experts in the field to teach high school students, who then teach their feeder students and teach them about environmental topics. So those are the first basic two, and then the third, and what I find is almost the most important, is outdoor education. And what outdoor education is I've been in contact with a group called Hemlock, which, in case you're not familiar, is an outdoor education and adventure camp. And we're trying to put forth a proposal for a week-long sort of environmental camp where students can go out in nature and actually explore and learn about it.
That is a fantastic work, and I hope this all comes to fruition. Now, Talia, you're off to college this year, and George, you're going to hang out another year.
One more year
at
Fairfax
at Fairfax High School.
Yes.
Are you going to be leading the way? Are you going to be monitoring what happens to your suggestions?
Definitely, yeah. It's become so personal now that I'm really invested in it, and I'm interested to see where it goes. Hopefully, the school board will take some interest in it, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, it's definitely just the beginning.
That's great. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.